Hey everybody, Wayne here. Today we're going to do a complete playthrough of Space Infantry Federation. Yep, this is a complete playthrough. We are not going to stop till we win or lose. I have a unbagging video. I also did a overview and review video. Those should both be up. Go ahead and take a look at those if you want a little more of a condensed view of the game. Otherwise, I have everything all set up. Everything looks good. I've already rolled for my resources, chosen my resources. I'll kind of explain things as I go. You know, it's not a full tutorial, but I will talk and explain as I go. Hopefully we'll keep it moving pretty quick, and we'll be able to get through the whole game. So without taking any more time on the intro, other than to say thank you for everyone who's watching. And if you haven't, give this video and my other videos on this game a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I think it's down to 55% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so I sure would appreciate a subscription. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive in. You guys should be able to see pretty much everything. We look at the camera quick here. Yep, so you have center board, all the action takes place. We have our events up here. We have our research and resources, resource track over here, and then I can see looks like maybe the very far left of the politics and war effort board is a little cut off, but the flesh eaters here, the red ones, they're right there. You can kind of see them on the left. Hey, this game takes up kind of a lot of table space. Enough for one table. It all fits on one table, but it does take up its own share. So, all right, for the most part, you can see everything. So let's go ahead and let me actually kind of nudge this up a little bit. There we go. All right, let's dive in. So starting off, we have everything all set up. This out of the way. And we will start drawing from the chits. Go ahead, and I'll just start laying them. I'll actually lay them out. What I'll do is I'll lay them out, and then as I get to each one, I'll just kind of explain it, cover it. And if we have to check the rule book for something, I mean, I don't have all the rules memorized. That's what we'll do. So, all right. So, starting off, the very first chit is the mutants. They have a border pressure, or border friction is what it is. Border pressure, border friction. That would be if I had a base in their territory, it would lower their war effort towards war. However, I don't have any bases. I don't have any bases at all other than Sol, so no worries there. We'll put it in the holding box. All right, now we have a Galactic Event, the War Event. First off, you would see if there were anyone at war over here on the politics chart. There's no one at war. They're all neutral right now. If they were at war, I would see if I had any bases in their territory. Those bases would take hits, unfortunately for me. Or I should say, fortunately though, I don't have any bases and no one's at war. So then what we do is we move on to an event. So we go ahead and from the event board up here, we draw a random event. All right, we do, so it's a military event happens. So we go ahead and we have our little chart here. Go ahead and roll on that. Roll to 6. Free build, flagship, Sol defense. That is fantastic. That is great luck for us. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and build a Sol defense. So grab the Sol defense over from unbuilt assets. Go ahead and place it in the Sol system. That is fantastic for us. I've never had that before. Awesome. Most of the time, things are going to be bad for you, honestly. But if you roll a 6, it's usually good for you, or at least not bad. So, all right, next thing will be, this is a Galactic Event. This is a Galactic Conflict. So we go ahead and we have a chart here on the reference board, and you guys can't see it, but I'm going to roll on it. A 5, which is war, which means there's going to be a war between random people over here. So go ahead and roll. A 6, which is the Chthonians and Flesh Eaters here. So the marker will move from neutral to war. So they're now at war with each other. At the same time, what we do, because they're at war with each other, and it's like a reduced effectiveness against us, what we'll do is we'll take 2 of these, the political status markers, and we'll place them above. And what you do is if when you look over at them, and say something happens where they get lowered, they both go down. But if there's 2 of them, you look at the top one. So even if something happens, say pushes the Flesh Eaters, you'd think towards Cold War, in reality, they'd still be considered at peace to us. Basically, that abstractly represents that they are, some of the resources are devoted towards the war with the Chthonians as opposed to their war with us, or potential war with us. So, all right. Now we'll do a Galactic Event. This is fast scouts would activate. There's no fast scout technology, so no effect. And then this is the Mercenaries Advance, which they have no fleets out here to advance. But what you would do, because they are at Total War, you would go ahead and treat it as a spawn. So their scout here would go ahead and spawn on the number 7. All right, now let's go ahead and keep drawing. We haven't drawn a Federation marker, so we'll keep drawing theirs. Or keep drawing until we get one. Basically, that's what it is. You keep drawing until you get a Federation marker. And then that would be the last one. Oh, bad luck for us. Nothing yet. All right, so we have this is a Mercenaries. This is Greed, which lowers their political status. They're already at Total War, so no effect. This is the Flesh Eaters. This is a Press, which if they had a fleet, it would move towards Sol, but they would not engage in combat. So they wouldn't actually invade anywhere if I had a fleet or a base, but they would move towards me. But they don't have a fleet out, so no effect. And again, you guys, I talked about this before in my overview and review. You can kind of look over here and you can see some of the stuff. It may have it there, it may not. Even if something's there, it doesn't mean it's going to be in effect. It just means it may. Here we have the Chthonians with border friction. I don't have a base there, so no worries. The Cybers, they do repress. Again, they don't have any sort of fleet, so no effect. And then the Chthonians in advance, that would not take effect unless they're at war or Total War with me. Yeah, they're at war with the Flesh Eaters, but it's abstracted. All right, so the next one I drew a Federation turn, and we're lucky. It actually has 2 dice on it. So what we'll do is we get to roll 2 dice for every one of our gears, which we have 2 gears. So we get to roll 4 dice, which is fantastic for the first turn. Roll and roll. So we'll get a resource on 6, 2 resources on 4, although it looks like we're going to be screwed, to be perfectly honest with you. So if you guys can see over here, so all we have available right now is we have the leftmost column here. We haven't opened up any columns yet. So you can see the 6 would go here, but we already have a gear, a build resource. So it can't go on there, so no effect. Basically, it's wasted. I have double 4s. However, I already have one at 4. I have 2 maneuvers, so that's wasted. And then the 1 gets to go out there. So we get to go ahead and put a 1 there, which we'll put a research there. Why not? So unfortunately, even though I got to roll 4 times, it didn't help us because we didn't have any more opened up. But we're going to fix that. Now that it's our turn, so we rolled for resources. We got what we got, which was just that. Now everything goes down 1. Now we look, we can spend anything from down here, either in our stored or this bottom row right here. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and let's spend this maneuver resource to move our flagship into Flesh Eater territory, Kutera, and we'll go ahead and spend a build. And we're going to go ahead and build a base there. And what we're going to do, let's see, let's go ahead and build... Let's actually build a maneuver base. We'll place the maneuver base there, and the flagship basically gets converted, goes into unbuilt assets. And since we got that maneuver base, we go ahead and grab 2 maneuver resources, put them in the resource pool. We'll grab this extra flagship, put it into unbuilt assets, and we'll grab this unresearched technology, put it over here. Boom, not too bad. Now we have a base there, so it'll give us an additional gear for next turn, next one of our turns. And now let's go ahead. We have 2 of these morale resources. Let's use them. I want to unlock this resource track. So my goal for this game, I'm going industrial. That's kind of my thought was when I started the game. I'm going for industry. I'm going to ramp up my economy and my industry. I'm not going heavy defense. I'm not going to build extra flagships or reinforce my bases. I'm going in industry. I'm going to try to win it before the enemy can react. Let's see if it pays off or not. All right, so now we have 2 builds left. Let's go ahead and spend 1 of them and build a flagship and place it at Sol. I think that's it. All right, and we have the 1 resource. Let's keep stored right here, 1 build resource. And that's it for our turn. So now we put this in the holding box. We grab all those chits that were over there. Put them all together. And before I forget, because we built a base in the Flesh Eaters territory here, that causes them to not like us. So over here, we go over to the war effort board, and we would lower them from peace to Cold War However, remember I mentioned before, because they're at war with the Chthonians right now, they're kind of distracted. So really, we look at the top one. So they're still kind of considered at peace as far as the game is concerned. All right, give a little shake up here. And let's start drawing again. See what else happens. Okay. Again, I'm just going to draw them and place them out. So I told you guys I'm going production. That's in my mind, right? Like I want to try to build up my economy and build as many bases as quick as possible to try to get the victory before. But we'll see what actually happens. All right, first chit. The Chthonians build technology, except they're at peace, so no effect. The Flesh Eaters advance, however, they're at peace, so no effect. And there's nothing out here. All right, Galactic War Event. Unfortunately, that just hurt us terribly. So, War Event, what that means is anyone who's at war, because I think we had this last turn too, take a hit on our base. Unfortunately, our base here takes a hit. Well, it wasn't reinforced or anything. It's just it only has like 1 hit point. So it is now eliminated from the game. It goes back to the location up here. We do get to keep the unlocked resources, but the base is no longer built there. Really unfortunate for us to lose that base, because we were relying on that for additional production. So really unfortunate draw for us. And now we conduct a regular event. Go ahead and draw one. Okay, so this is, what is this, foreign relations. So we go ahead and roll on the map here, or on the chart. 4, spend an espionage. All right, so we have an espionage to spend. We don't. They're all in the resource pool. Espionages are these. So we get to go ahead and leave it. Unfortunately, consider it no effect, so that at least is good for us. All right, that was a bummer. Okay, we lost our base. That's a real bummer. But that's what happens, right? You never know. All right, the mutants have a technology gain, but they're at peace, so no effect. And then the cybers, they have a technology gain. They're also at peace, so no effect. Draw. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's our turn now. It's 2 dice again, thankfully. 2 dice per gear. Fortunately, we lost that 3rd gear. Otherwise, we would have been able to roll 6 dice, which would have been awesome. Instead, we only get to roll 4. 1, 2, and then it's 2 per. Let's roll 4. Let's go ahead and roll. All right. 6, double 5, and a 2. All right, so for the 6, let's go ahead. Let's get this maneuver. So we're going to go ahead and build more resources there. Let's see, no resource, and then we have 2 5s. Let's go ahead and do, let's get 2 builds here. And then up at 2, we'll go ahead and put, I don't really want to put that. I feel like it's kind of a waste. Let's put a research at 2. Okay. All right, that's it for our resources. Move them down. All right, let's go ahead. So we have a flagship. Let's go ahead and move him. Let's go ahead and spend our maneuver resource to move the flagship to Katera. We're not going to go yet. We're not going to build a base yet. Wow, should we? Gosh, we really should though, honestly. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to build. And this time though, we're going to spend a build resource. We're going to build the production base. We're going to build that in Katera. Now, just like before, go ahead and take these resources, put them in the resource pool, all this good stuff. Flagship, technology, and because we built another base, Flesh Eaters, they don't like us, so now it's going to move down. So now they're actually at Cold War. Not good, but we do what you got to do. So, all right, I think that's what we'll sit on. It's unfortunate we lost that base right away. I've never had that happen before. That's how it works in games sometimes, though, right? All right, I think we're done. Yep, we're done. So put everything in here. All right, start drawing. Placing them on the activation queue. I really love this. Oh, boom, we got a Federation one of the 3rd one. Not bad. All right, so first one will be the Flesh Eaters. It's a advance, thankfully. They're only at Cold War, so no effect. Whew. Now they'll be the Chthonians. They gain a technology. Thankfully, they're up above peace even because they're so distracted by their war. No effect. And now we get to have a Federation turn. Whew. All right, so now we notice it's 1 die, -1, so it's only 1 per gear, which we have the 3, so we get to roll 3 dice. However, each roll is going to be a -1. A little bit of a bummer there. So 6, 5, 5 becomes, go ahead and put 5, and then this will be 4 and 4. Again, I just put them over here as a mnemonic. You don't have to do that, but I like to do it. Okay. All right, let's see here. So let's go ahead and put, yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll put, we have 1 for 5, so we'll put it right here. I'm gonna put a build resource in 5, and then we get double 4s. I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 maneuver resources in 4 there. Yeah, that'll be perfect. All right, everything moves down 1. All right, so we have 2 build resources and 2 maneuver resources. Let's go ahead and spend 1 build resource and build a flagship in Seoul. We have 2 maneuvers. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's do, I know what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead. So we'll spend 1 maneuver to move our flagship from Seoul into Chthonian territory, #1 space, and then we'll spend another resource or maneuver resource to move it from the 1 spot to Pyzelia. And at Pyzelia, let's spend our build resource to build a base. Let's build, at this point, we want new ones at this point because we already kind of got the resources for the maneuver base. Remember that that was destroyed. So there's no benefit to rebuilding it per se. What are we closest to? We're closest to fighting. I'm not sure put a defense base there, but oh well, too late. Let's do the resource base. No, yeah, let's do the resource base. All right, or research, excuse me. So we'll put the research base there. Get rid of that. Now we get the research icon, research resources, they go there. Another flagship goes on build assets, another technology. All right, and then what we're gonna do is, remember the Chthonians here, they don't like that we settled there, so we're gonna go ahead and lower everything down. Fortunately, because they're at war, they were already up here at peace, kind of above peace, so they just stay at peace. So I think that's it for us. Now, like I said, you can see I'm not doing a lot of research yet. I'm not doing a whole lot else. I'm just trying to ramp up my economy, establish bases, do production. That's my goal with this game. I'm kind of weak technology-wise and defense-wise, but I'm going for production. That's my goal. All right. So that was the Federation. So now I put everything back. Fix her up here. Good to go. Oh, drew another one. That's the way it works sometimes. Sometimes you get to go multiple times. Sometimes, like the beginning of the game, I think that they got to go 10 times in a row before we got to go. All right, so we get to go. So it's 1 die per gear, -1 on our die rolls. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 gears, so that's 4 dice. And then -1 on each of them. All right, so the 6 becomes a 5. 4 becomes a 3. 3 becomes a 2, and that 2, or that 1, no effect. It becomes a 0, so we don't get that resource, so that's a bummer. All right, for the 5, let's go ahead and do a build. 3, we'll do another build, and then for the 2, we'll do a... we'll do a maneuver. Well... I don't want to do it yet, but yeah, we gotta. So we'll put it on the 2. And we gotta get them up there. Gotta get them coming. All right, so move everything down 1. All right, so the only resource we have available, we have 1 build resource available. Let's go ahead and we'll spend that, and let's build a flagship here in Seoul. So remember our goal, as we ramp up our economy and the ultimate goal to win, right? We want to establish bases in every named territory here. So we have 2 bases done. We have to establish 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Whew. It's gonna take some time to do that. So we're still pretty far away, but we're gonna keep at it. So let's go ahead and I think that'll be it. Yep, that's it. Start drawing again. Okay, I just drew another turn for my own. That's great luck for me. I swear I'm not cheating. I'm just reaching over and drawing from it. So we go ahead and we got 2 dice per, which 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 gears times 2 is 8, so we get to roll 8 dice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's roll 8 dice here. All right. So for 6s, they're going to be wasted. So that's actually not that good because look, we have all 6s here full. So even though we have 3 6s, completely wasted because we can't put anything there. That is a tremendous bummer. Big freaking bummer. Double 3, 4, double 3s, a 2, and a 1. So, oops, this was a 2. All right, so the 6s are completely wasted, which is a huge bummer for us. Wasted opportunity. Disappointed. And then we'll do, let's do a maneuver at 4. Double 3s, let's do 2 build. 2 and 1. Let's do maneuver at 2 and a build. Well, let's hang on to that build. We'll do a morale at 1. All right, that'll be it. Everything moves down 1. All right, so now what we do, we have a couple new resources, or one new resource we can use that you guys haven't really seen before, and that's the diplomacy. I definitely want to use those. So diplomacy, the first one, I'm establishing an embassy, so I'm deploying it, establishing an embassy with the flesh eaters. So I'm going to put it at the war spot. So now what that does is next time they're knocked down, hopefully, not that technically they're Cold War, remember, but hopefully this will keep them from moving farther down. We have to roll when that happens to see if our diplomats succeed. So that for them, and then we're also going to do it for the cybers. We're going to put one there as well. Deploy it, establish an embassy with them. All right, so now what we want to do, speaking of which, let's go ahead and spend a maneuver resource to move our flagship down to the number 1 spot. And we'll spend another resource, maneuver, to move their flagship down to Apchlor down here. And we're going to spend our build, and we're going to go ahead and try to build a base there. Well, we do succeed anyway. What I want is I want to make sure, let's see. We're going to build... we'll go ahead and do the Espionage Base, even though... Yeah, because it hasn't... Well, should I do the defense base? What do you guys think? No, let's do the Espionage Base. Let's put it there. So, we get the Espionage resources, put it in our resource pool. We get the flagship. We get attack. Go ahead and get rid of the flagship that's there. And then, now we check for the... They don't automatically move down, though, remember, because we have that embassy. What we do is we have a chart. It's called a contested results chart, and you go ahead and roll on it. We want to roll at least a 3 or higher, preferably a 5 or 6. If it's 1 or 2, they're going to move down. They ignore our embassy and they banish us, kick us out of there. A 1. So embassy fails miserably. This goes back to the resource pool and they move down. So they're now immobilized. So they will do they'll do everything except advance. They'll spawn fleets. They'll gain technology. They'll press towards me. Border friction, all the above. It's getting a little sketchy with the flesh eaters. So, all right. Is that it? I think that's it. Okay, so that is it for my turn. Let's go ahead and throw it in there. Try to get a good mix here. I would like to see some more alien turns. I don't necessarily need to have all my Federation turns in a row and then I win. Be a little lame. Okay, see? It's random, I swear. Oh, and then we get another one. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is the Chthonians get a border friction. So, we'll set it right there. Chthonian border friction. Now, what that is, I mentioned before, if I have a base, which I do, Pyzelia, I founded a base there, they don't like that. So, border friction causes their relationship with me to sour, so they drop from peace. Remember, they got the double because they're at war already with flesh eaters. They drop down 1, so now they're at Cold War with me. All right, now I get to go. My turn. I drew another one for me. This is 1 minus 1. So I count my gears, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gears. So I get to roll 5 dice with a -1 to each die roll. All right, so the 5 becomes a 4. 4 becomes a 3. 3 becomes a 2. 2 becomes a 1, and the 1 is discarded, no effect. All right, let's go ahead and do at 4. Let's do another build. At 3, we'll do a maneuver. At 2, we'll do a build. And then at 1, we'll do this diplomacy. Yeah, there we go. All right, and now we'll move everything down. All right, now we do have a couple of resource tokens. Let's go ahead and, research resource. Let's go ahead. We'll use one. We're going to spend one to unlock a new research. So what we do is we go ahead and take 2 of them, flip them over. All right, this one's a combat one. This one's for movement. Let's go ahead and try to research the movement one. We'll put the movement one here at 0%. Flip this back over, mix it up a little bit. All right, now we'll go ahead and spend this other research resource to try to move along the research here. So we're at 0%, so you can see the 1 through 6. Go ahead and roll. 1. So he moves over 1 spot. So he moves over to 25% research done. When he gets to 100%, he unlocks it. We'll put it over here, research technologies, and we'll check the book to see what we get. But remember, my focus on this game, again, you can focus on research, you can focus on espionage, doing all kinds of stuff. My focus right now is powering up my economy, production, building this massive economic empire, and founding all my colonies and winning that way, and not worrying about the fighting or technology per se. So just keep that in mind. If you say like, well, you're not doing a whole lot of technology stuff, for this particular game, that's not my goal. I have one strategy in mind, and that's the economic output to win that way, basically. Let's see if it works. So I think that's it for me, right? All right, let's put it back, put this one, put everything back in here, mix them up nice, get everything all mixed up. Okay, so we need a war event, which is probably gonna hurt me bad. And then, oh, mine. Okay, so I think I'm about to get wrecked though. This may be horrible for me. I think I may have just like, say lose the game, but I definitely just hurt myself a lot. All right, so we have the war event, which, remember guys, I'm pretty sure means that, let's check it quick, the book. Galactic, no, it's not Galactic Conflict, where is it? Alien War Event. Check for any race is currently a war. For event release is currently a war. Check the central player area for a base within their territory, which remember, it's the Chthonians and Flesh Eaters, which all my bases are in Chthonian and Flesh Eater. If such a base exists, take 1 hit to the base of your choice within the warring faction space. My 2 applying hits. So I think we're going to lose all 3 bases, which is going to make me cry a little bit, I'll be perfectly honest. The only thing I can think of, I know there's applying hits. You can... yeah, there's no other way to get out of it. So, that Galactic War Event just destroyed all 3 of these bases of mine, which was, it's absolutely horrible. Probably going to lose the game now because of that. So, the key to avoid that, right, is you say, well, how do you avoid that in the future? Would be each of those bases, I can spend a build resource to actually upgrade them. So that would have been the way to avoid that, right? That way, if I drew this, it wouldn't actually wreck me like it just did. So, all right. Oh, and then you have a normal, oops, I forgot you have a normal event, Galactic Event, random one. Let's flip for that. So technology event, okay. Where does it go? Right there. Go ahead and roll. A 3, faction gains a tech. Faction, we roll a 2. The cybers. So down here, you're gonna go ahead and gain a technology, which is the fast, I think that's the fast raider fleet technology. So, okay. All right, now the Flesh Eaters do an advance. Fortunately, they're mobilized, so no effect. The mutants would have a press action, but they don't have any fleets, so no effect. And now I get to take a turn. Oh, knocked it out of there. So my turn, I get 1 die roll per gear. I'm down to 2 gears because, remember, I screwed myself there with the whole base thing. So what we'll do, so go ahead and... we have 5 and a 1. A 5 and a 1, which the 5 is wasted, which is really unfortunate. Skip those for now. With the 1, we'll just put an espionage down there. Boom. Okay, and a 5 we can't do because it's already filled up. Everything moves down 1. All right. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and build a flagship here, Sol, and we'll go ahead and use a maneuver to move that flagship down to Kutera here. Actually, yeah. Well, no. We'll move him here to this spot, number 1 here, and then leave him here into the mutant territory. Okay, and then we'll stand strong. Yeah, they wrecked our economy. My whole plan was absolutely wrecked by that Galactic Conflict event. But I should have thought ahead and realized that I needed to reinforce those bases. If you spend 1 build point, you can flip a base over and it's stronger and it has 2 hit points. So that's what I should have done. Oh well. All right. Yeah, 2 it here. All right, it's gonna be a Galactic War Event. Thankfully, I don't have any bases left. Not thankfully, really, but it is what it is. All right, first one is the War Event. We have no bases left while they're at war, so no effect. But there's a regular event. Keep forgetting that. Or at least I forget it right away. Ooh, and a economic event. Let's see what happens. A 3. We have to spend a build. We have to spend it from somewhere. We spend it here off the resource track. So not good for us. All right, now the Mercenaries Greed. They're already at total war, so no effect. The Chthonians Border Friction, which I don't have a base there anymore, so no effect. The Mercenaries spawn, so they will go ahead and grab this Raider fleet now and joins the Scout fleet here. And then Mercenary Greed, no effect. Keep drawing. All right. So this will be the Flesh Eaters Advance. No fleets out there right now, so I avoid that. Wait a second, where are they at? Mobilize. Okay, whew, they don't spawn anything yet. Close, though. All right, and then the Mercenaries gain a technology. Unfortunately, they will gain one. Try to go random. Here's this one, which is the Greed tech, which is Plunder. Let me look that up quick, because I can't remember what that does. It's my bad. Yeah, but I don't have quite everything memorized. So what does that do? Greed. When they get the Greed tech. Let's see here. That's Plunder tech is what they have. Steals a resource from you every time a combat roll occurs that involves them. Select one resource of your choice. Place back in the resource pool. Okay. Well, I hopefully don't get any fighting with them then. So, because that'll hurt me. All right. And then, boom, my turn. 1 die per, so I only have the 2. So, again, my economy got tripled by that fighting. 6 and a 1. 6 is awesome. Go ahead and get a, let's see, a maneuver. And the 1 down here, obviously. Go ahead and grab a research. Okay. All right. So everything moves down 1. Moving on up. All right, moving on down. All right, so let's go ahead and spend a maneuver. Let's maneuver our flagship Abraxas here. And then we'll spend a build action. Let's go ahead and build a base. We definitely want one. We need the economic part, so we're going to just go, even though it doesn't actually gain a positive, like we don't get any more resources from it, we still need that. We need the economics from it. Simple as that. He moves over here. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and, because we settled in the mutant territory, they don't like us. They moves down to Cold War with us. We have 2 left, so let's go ahead and spend another build to build a flagship, place it in Sol, and then we'll spend a maneuver. Actually, no, we're going to hang on to that maneuver, put it in stored resources. Okay, we'll go ahead and end our turn. All right. It goes back in the cup here. All right, perfect. Okay, so Cybers. Cybers do a press. Where are they at? So no fleets yet or anything like that, so they're not going to worry about us. Mercenaries, they spawn. Good lord. So all their fleets are here. Hopefully we don't get them moving first, because they're going to try to plunder my planet. All right, so we're my base there. So we're going to do, now we got our turn. Yay. So what we do is we have a die roll -1. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 die. We're back to 3 dice at least. Yay. -1 on each roll. So 2, 1, and nothing. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and let's put a build here and a build there. We just gotta try. That's what we gotta do. Okay, everything moves down 1. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do a maneuver. Move the flagship down into cyber territory to 1, and do another maneuver to move another flagship here to SCO. All right, and then we don't have any builds or anything like that, so move that to storage, and we'll end our turn. All right, so we will get Mercenary spawn, which they have all their fleets spawned. I don't think they do anything different. Hang on. If there are no more fleets in this race's spawn order track, this effect is treated as tech. So they gain a technology, which this is the fast scouts. Put that there. I thought there was something. I was like, wait a second. I think they do get something, though. Galactic War Event. So no effect here because no base is there anymore. We gave up on that whole idea and wiped from the galaxy. But there's a random event, so it'll happen. So this is the combat event, or military event again. A 6, free build, flagship, soul defense. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Whew, cool. All right, awesome. I will definitely take that. Okay, that was the event. And now we drew my turn. So Federation turn. 1 die per. 1, 2, 3. I'm at 3 right now. Let's go ahead and roll. Awesome. Double 6s and 1. So with the double 6s, let's go ahead and do, let's see, we have a flagship there. This, so we're gonna get that resource. We're gonna get the build. We're gonna build a base there. Thinking ahead. We're gonna build a base in ASIO here. So then we can move him towards, well, one of these other places, wherever, it doesn't matter. You can only move 1 and 2. So what we need is, let's see, 1. Wait. We can build. Okay. So we do need, so 2 maneuvers here. And then we'll go ahead. We're going to hang out on all those, and we're just going to put a research up here. Okay. That's what we'll do. All right. Everything moves down. All right. So we will go ahead and use our build. We'll build a base at ASIO here. Get rid of the fleet. We don't gain anything because we had already got everything from before when it was over here and I got destroyed. But what we will do is we look at the cybers and we're going to lower them down, except we do have an embassy there. So let's roll contested. Remember, we want a 3 or higher. We got a 2, so no effect. Our embassy does a terrible job. We're not a diplomacy style federation here. And then let's go ahead and spend a resource, a maneuver resource to move the flag. Gosh, what should we do with that? Let's move the flagship. 1, 2, 3, and spend the rest of them. Move it down to Serenith down here, all the way down there. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm committed. We may be able to recover from this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So the mercenaries will spawn, but they don't have a spawn, so they're going to get a random tech. This is the fast raiders. Then the cybers will press. No fleet yet. Yep, no, not yet. Galactic War Event. I've been drawing that one like crazy. No bases there, so no effect, but we'll draw a random one. We have foreign relations. Draw that. A 6. Failed alliance. What does that do? I'll have to check the board on that one. The events. Where's the events? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't have everything memorized. What is a failed alliance? Random event? No. Not a random event. It's from the event board. War alliance, war alliance, failed alliance. What does failed alliance do? Can't find it. Failed alliance. Oh, I saw something online, but I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna look it up. We're just gonna say no effect. At least it's good for me, or sort of good. No effect. There's something online. There's some errata, but I don't remember what it is. I'm not gonna stop the video to look it up. I want to keep playing. So, all right. Snow like there. Now the mercenaries get another tech. Good Lord, they have all their technology. All right, so the fast raiders, fast everything basically. Oops, and then greed for them, which is no effect because they're already at war. All right. Oh, yep. All right, so I get I get to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get to roll 4 dice, 4 gears. All right, that's awesome. Double resources for 6. That's gonna help us out big time. So, because we've got him there, so we need a couple builds. And then we're gonna get double 2s. So we'll go ahead and put some maneuvers there. All right, perfect. Okay, let's move everything down. That should move over. Down. All right, so we have all these. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna establish an embassy. We're gonna try again with the old cybers here because we're about to establish a base there. So let's go ahead and build. Spend our build resource. Let's build the base here at Saneth. Doesn't matter what kind of base, as long as it has a gear, because we want to keep our economy going, remember? All right. And now we're going to roll to see if we can keep them there. So 1 through 6, we want at least a 3, preferably a 5 or 6. We got a 3. So we get to discard our embassy, our diplomacy. However, they do not move down to mobilize. They stay at Cold War. So good for us. All right, and then we'll spend our, well, and then we're going to spend this build. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce this Abraxas and make them stronger because I'm afraid it's going to get raided. And I don't want that to happen. So at least I want them to be able to defend themselves. So I think that's it for our turn. See how the video's looking here? I'm going 45 minutes. Oh, nothing, guys, nothing. We're about to win this, baby. Hopefully, maybe. Oh, yeah. All right. Maybe we will, actually. I was half kidding. All right, so we get to go with a -1. So we have, what is it now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. We roll 5 dice. The -1 on each one. It's the only bummer. It says double 6s become double 5s. This 5 becomes a 4. 2 becomes a 1. And the 1 is discarded. All right, so we're going to need to build and keep maneuvering because we have 1, 2, 3 bases. We're going to have to establish 3 again, the 3 we had. We would have won by now if they hadn't been destroyed because that would have been all 6 bases. Oh, well, that's how it happens sometimes. So these double 5, let's do 2 maneuvers. Put them there. The 4, we'll do another maneuver. And then at the 1, we'll do a build. Why not? All right. Everything moves down 1. We don't have a lot going on right now. Espionage, we have the morale, which we don't really need to boost our morale at all. So with our morale resource here, we can do things like propaganda, expand the resource track. We already did that. Sacrifice return, previous sacrifice return. See, we don't need to do it. Diplomacy, that's the other one. So we really don't need that at all. So it's just chilling. Espionage. We can move and remove an alien technology. Let's do that. I don't like that plunder one. So what we're going to do is what is it? What do you got to roll? Hang on. So if I want to spend my espionage to try to remove that technology, roll 1 die. Oh, well, it's whatever we hit on the die roll. So we'll roll a die roll. A 6, we did it! Holy crap! That is amazing. And then we'll put it in there so it's all random again. Way to go, us. All right, I can't believe that actually worked. I forgot you have to actually roll and just picks a random one, but we actually got that one. All right, I think we're good here. We're gonna save everything. We're ramping up though. We're getting close, guys. I have a feeling Federation may survive. All right, what do we got here? Let's go ahead. Boom. 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 And sorry, I'm gonna keep saying boom every time. All right, the Chthonians will border friction. We have no bases there because they've already annihilated them, so no effect. The Flesh Eaters will press. They have no forces, so they will not press. The mutants will spawn. Oh, what do they add? Cold War. Okay, not there yet. So once they're immobilized, they would start spawning, but they're not quite yet. The Mercenaries, Greed. They're already at Total War, so no effect. And the that's not good. The Cybers have border friction. Now that one is not good for us. So for border friction, let's double check, see if it's once or twice. If you have a base within this alien territory, you must lower the war effort by 1. So it's just by 1, thankfully. So the Cybers are going to drop from Cold War to mobilize because we have 2 bases there. It just says 1 though, so we're not going to do it twice because that would be just mean. All right. Woohoo! My turn. All right. So I get to go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 dice. Hopefully no 6s. Oh man. Because, well, my point was because we're already full up on 6s. So no effect there. 3. And then 3 2s. So whatever we put there has to be 3 of the same kind. Which is kind of a waste. So for the 3, we'll go ahead and put a build. For the 3 2s, we'll put the 3 research here. Boom. Kind of a weird roll there. All right, everything moves down 1. All right. Whew. Okay, so let's conduct our research on our movement 1 up there. So we'll spend research resource. Go ahead and roll. 1 to 6 over 3, which is moves over 1, so it moves over to 50%. We're getting there. And then let's go ahead. We don't have any flagships yet, so let's build a flagship. Oops, grab them here, put them in Seoul. And then we have bases all over these places. So let's go ahead and spend a maneuver to, go up to 1. And we'll spend another maneuver to go up to Paisalia. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, and so then we have no more resources left, so it's the end of our turn. Think back. So to win, we got our economy back, but we took a really hurting before. We have to establish a base there, we have a flagship there already, and then we have 2 more spots. Let's see if we can do it before they start steamrolling, because I can just tell it's close to when, oops, put it over there, close to when they're gonna start marching towards us. That's just how it works, trust me. All right, so we have a Flesh Eater press. Where are they at? They're at mobilize, so but then they don't have a fleet, so no worries there. They would mobilize a fleet if they had spawn, which I think, hang on, let me just double check. Yeah, if they're at war, total war, they would spawn a fleet, but they're not, so. All right, the Cybers press, same thing. Where are they at? They're mobilized, so no effect, but they don't have a fleet out there yet, so no effect, thankfully. Cybers will advance, again, thankfully they're mobilized, so advance does not create a fleet. And then, me, I get to go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 dice. Straight rolls. So 5 4s, 2 and 1. 4s, 2 and 1. All right. So for the 5, we're definitely gonna pick a build. And then for the 2 4s, we'll do 2 maneuvers. 2 and 1, let's do 2 diplomacies. Get them on the track at least. Ah. All right, everything moves down 1. All right, now we have our fleet or flagship there. I don't want to press them yet though. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually build. So I'm gonna use a build resource. I'm gonna build a flagship at Seoul, and we're gonna spend this maneuver resource, and we're gonna go ahead and send him to Kotera here into enemy space. So we are prepping our assault of base building. So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead, put everything back, send our turn. Kind of coming down to the wire a little bit here. We'll see. A couple of them are ramping up, but they haven't been able to get started. Like the stupid, what's their guy's name? Okay. The Mercenaries up here. They've spawned a bunch of fleets, but they haven't attacked me yet, thankfully. All right, so Cybers Advance. No fleets yet, and they're just at mobilize, so no worries. The Flesh Eaters press, no fleets. Cybers press, no fleets. Mutants spawn. They're up at Cold War, so they will not spawn yet. And I get to go. I get 2 dice for each gear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I actually get 10 dice. So here's 5. Well, that was horrible. You find 2 more dice. We're not dice, guys. All right. So what this means is that for the 5, we have to have a triple, which is, so it kind of sucks because all we have are these espionage. We'll put them there. For 4, we can put 1. We'll go ahead and put a. Hang on, what are we gonna need here? We can build 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll need 4 builds. 1, 2, 3. So only another build. Put them there. And then for the 2s. It's double, so we gotta go ahead and put espionage there. The 1s we can't place because we don't have enough resources available. All right. Cool, cool. Everything moves down 1. There we go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna build, spend a build resource. We're gonna build a flagship and place it in Seoul. Then I'm going to spend 2 maneuver, we got 2 of them here, resources to move it out to Apclor here in the Flesh Eater territory. So now we have flagships strategically staged at each of these bases. And now we just need 3 builds, which you can see here and here. So in 2 more turns, we may be able to win this thing if we can survive 2 more turns. Let's see what happens. Because if you have the resources, there's no limit to the amount you can do in a turn, thankfully. Oops. Well, leave it there, but get all excited. All right, perfect. All right, so they will advance the and a brain two more here. Cybers will advance, however, no effect because they're just mobilized. These Cybers will press, no effect because they have no fleet. If they had spawn, they would get a fleet. They need a spawn is what they need. And then greed for the mercenaries, no effect. And now it's my turn with a -1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 dice with a -1. -1 on each roll. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 2. And these 2 2s become 1s each. And the 1 is discarded. All right, so the 5, fortunately, already it's full, so no effect. The 2, let's go ahead and put a maneuver there. And then 2 1s, we'll put 2 more maneuvers there. Actually, for the 2, go ahead and put a build. Yeah, there we go. All right, so advance. Let's just move over there. I guess I forgot to do my research, huh? Didn't I? I got all excited. It's okay. We have enough room in storage. We'll leave it there. Now move everything down. All right. So basically, what we're doing right now is we're hanging on to these build. So we're gonna move over here to stored because we're gonna need 3 of them. So next turn we'll get 2 more. We'll have 3. We'll be able to win. So our next turn we'll be able to win the game because assuming we don't get obliterated, which could happen. You never know. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and what can we do with our espionage? Let's see. I'm trying to think of a couple things we could do. When they're at war, I know we can. It doesn't really help us though. Sorry guys, I'm trying to think. I don't want to have any of these people hurt me anymore. I'm trying to think of. Sorry guys, I'm trying to zone out a little bit. I'm thinking of what I can do because I know there's certain things. So when people are at war, you can do certain actions, but I'm kind of limited. It doesn't really do anything there. All right, so I'm gonna do, just to prevent their technology gains, I guess, I'm gonna put 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 here. Oh, they moved down here actually, and 1 there. That way it prevents them from gaining as much tech. Aha! Let's use our research though, and try to advance that research over here. 1 to 6, roll to 5, he moves over 1. Oh, 75%. Get our movement just towards the end of the game. I think that's it for now. We're gonna hang on to everything else. We don't need to maneuver anywhere. We're hanging on to next turn. Let's do it, guys. Should be able to win. I got some flew out of my excitement and some were flying out of here. Okay, there's that, there's that. Okay. All right, so the mutants will advance, which they are at Cold War, so no effect. And now it's my turn. I get 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll for 5 resources. 3, 2, 2, 2, and 1. So for 3, let's go ahead and put research. 2, no effect. I don't have any doubles, and then for 1, we'll just put research there. All right, move them down. All right, now what we will do is we will go ahead and we have 3 build resources. We'll spend each one to convert each one of these flagships into a base. And we win the game. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We win. So, first off, great game. I love this game in general. Second, which if you saw my review, I said that. Second, man, I can't believe I came back from getting half of my bases, 3 of them racked over here. Third, I dodged a bullet, drawn some good chits that didn't, because some of these guys, if you look over here, the war effort, you can see we have flesh eaters that mobilize. They never spawned anybody. Same thing with the cybers, they're mobilized, so they could have started spawning. So then all those times there was like press, they would have moved towards me. Thankfully that didn't happen. Whew, kind of dodged a bullet. I was able to juggle just enough the diplomacy aspect. Actually, I think I did terrible on diplomacy, didn't I? I focused on production, focused on industry, Spike getting wiped out over here. I was able to survive. I did reinforce this base because I was lucky I didn't draw. I expected the raiders here, so the mercenaries have a couple raiders here. I expected them to come into Braxis and raid me. So, for example, say if they had drawn, wherever it is, it's like, I got them in here, wherever they would be, wherever it would be that it would have them move. So say I draw it and they would move. What I would do is I would look at it, I would say, just show you guys how combat works quick, just because we didn't do any actual combat in this particular game. Just because I wasn't focused on that, I was focused on my industry. You start with 5 dice, and then you look at the highest they have, which is 3. You take that many away, and you take an additional away for every other one, so that's 2. So 1 more away. Or you ignore the fact it's 2, just an additional 1. So now I'm down to 1 die. However, the back of this you look at, and this is a part of the errata I mentioned before, he should have double shields. So it should be, he gets an additional, is it a die roll or 2 dice? Hang on. I think it's 1 die for, because it should be 1 sword on the front, 2 swords on the back, and the 2 swords is 1 die. Okay, yep. So we'd have 2 dice, and they'd roll, and we rolled. We did not succeed. We took a hit. So what would happen is we'd flip him over to he'd take a hit, so he'd flip over to the front, basically is reduced, right? And then they would retreat back to this spot. And then it would stay here, and then it could attack me again and eliminate me if that happened. So that's why I buffed him up, because I thought maybe they would be attacking. Other than that, we got lucky on a couple of our pulls. We got some bad luck, but at the same time, we survived. None of the other races spawned. I was just, I was able to keep them going to war too helped me, because otherwise the flesh eaters would be at war right now. So remember, we had the flesh eaters and Chthonians at war. Because of that, remember, we used the top one, so we had Cold War and Mobilize. Otherwise, it would have been like this. So every time I drew a war, or excuse me, any sort of like advance or spawn for the flesh eaters, which I know I drew some advances. I'm pretty sure I drew some advances that would have started spawning their forces, or started coming on the map, and they would have started advancing towards my bases. So, very interesting. Well, I love this game, guys. So, hope you enjoyed that playthrough. I can't say enough good things about this game. It's just a lot of fun. What can I say? I just feel like I'm running this like empire here, this interstellar galactic empire, yet can play it in what? How long does this video take? About an hour. So, yeah, an hour to play through an entire game. I'd say that's not too bad at all. So, once you're familiar with it, I think that's very reasonable. So, all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, I'm sure you did. In which case, please, if you're not subscribed, throw me a subscription. I would appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my videos. Let me know what you think of this game. And if you're interested, go check it out from Lock and Load Publishing. All right, till next time, guys. Later.